I keep coming back to that postcard. Not the explosions, not the ghouls, not even the empty cryopods. Just that stupid little line, Colorado was a good idea. Because Fallout doesn't waste words. And that line doesn't feel like lore. It feels like a message someone left when they didn't know if they'd ever get another chance. When Cooper Howard opens those pods and finds them empty, the show doesn't give us answers. It gives us absence. And Fallout has always been better at absence than explanation. The things it doesn't show you are always louder than the things it does. So this is my theory, not a neat one, not a comforting one, just the one that makes the most emotional and logical sense the more I sit with it. Barb didn't escape. Janie didn't get lucky. And Cooper didn't just lose his family. They were separated on purpose. The empty pods aren't a mystery, they're a decision. Here's the thing, people keep glossing over. Cryo doesn't just open itself. Someone had access. Someone had authority. Someone chose when Barb and Janie woke up, and more importantly, who didn't. That means the empty pods aren't evidence of chaos. They're evidence of planning. And once you accept that, the story shifts completely. Because now you're not asking, where did they go? You're asking, why was Cooper left behind? And that question hurts way more. Barb was always the pragmatist. People love framing Barb as the softer half of the relationship, but that's not really accurate. Cooper is emotional, idealistic, reactive. He believes that if something is wrong, you expose it and fight it. Barb believes systems don't break. They absorb. That difference is subtle early on. But it matters when the world ends. When Vault-Tec starts drawing lines around who survives, Cooper wants to push back. Barb wants to understand the rules of the game before she plays. And that's why I don't think Barb ever planned to run. Running is for people without leverage. Barb had leverage. She had a child. Janie was the key, not the baggage. This is the part that's uncomfortable, but Fallout has never been shy about uncomfortable truths. Janie wasn't just a kid in Vault-Tec's eyes. She was pre-war, genetically clean, psychologically adaptable, young enough to mold, old enough to remember. That combination is gold to organizations like the Enclave. So when the bombs fell and the cryo protocols activated, Janie wasn't just being preserved. She was being evaluated. And Barb figured that out. The deal had to happen early. I don't think Barb waited 200 years and then woke up confused and scared. I think she woke up early enough to understand where she was, early enough to realize what kind of people were still in control, early enough to be given a choice. Not freedom, not safety. A bargain. And bargains in Fallout always come with strings. Why Cooper couldn't be part of it? This is the hardest part of the theory to accept, but it's the part that fits the best. Cooper Howard is a liability, not because he's weak, because he's principled. He doesn't know how to keep his head down. He doesn't know how to play along. He doesn't know how to accept necessary evil. And Barb knows that better than anyone. If Cooper wakes up with him, he fights. If he fights, Janie becomes expendable. If Janie becomes expendable, the deal collapses. So Barb makes the choice no Fallout parent wants to make. She saves her child by isolating her from her father, not because Cooper wouldn't protect Janie, but because he'd protect her the wrong way. The postcard isn't hope, it's guilt. That's why the postcard matters so much. It's not coordinates. It's not instructions. It's not even a promise. It's phrased like something you write when you're trying to sound casual because you don't trust yourself to say goodbye out loud. Colorado was a good idea, not is. Was. That's past tense. That's reflection. That's someone looking back at a choice they already made. And crucially, it's something only Cooper would understand. Which tells me something important. The postcard wasn't bait for enemies. It wasn't a trap for strangers. It was a message for one man, written by someone who knew exactly how stubborn he is. Colorado isn't safety, it's control. People talk about Colorado like it's just another destination. It's not. In Fallout terms, Colorado is isolated, militarized, controlled. It's the kind of place the Enclave doesn't just hide in, it operates from. So if Barb and Janie were moved there, that wasn't an escape. It was a relocation. which means Janie didn't grow up free. She grew up directed. Janie wasn't waiting for her father. This is the part that's going to break people when it finally happens. If Janie was thawed decades ago, she didn't spend her life wondering where Cooper was. She was told. And what she was told probably wasn't kind. From the Enclave's perspective, Cooper is everything they warn against. Emotional, unpredictable, anti-system, dangerous to long-term order. So what do you tell a child raised under that ideology? You tell her father chose chaos. You tell her he abandoned stability. You tell her mother saved her from him. Not with cruelty, with calm certainty. Which is worse, Barb's real sacrifice wasn't Cooper, it was herself. I don't think Barb got a happy ending. I think Barb traded her future for Janie's. She may have lived under surveillance. She may have lost autonomy. She may have been reduced to a necessary component in Janie's development. Or worse, she may have been removed entirely once Janie no longer needed her. Fallout loves that kind of quiet brutality. And if that's true, the postcard becomes even darker, because it might be the only piece of Barb that still exists. Cooper becoming a ghoul was the system working. Cooper's ghoulification isn't just tragic irony. It's the system doing exactly what it does to people who refuse to adapt. Everyone who cooperated got preserved. Everyone who resisted got changed. Everyone who questioned got left behind. Cooper didn't die, but he paid the price for staying himself. And that's why his survival feels cruel instead of heroic. Hank House and the illusion of control. People like Hank love pretending they're the ones pulling the strings. But the truth is simpler. They manage logistics. They enforce policy. They don't make the hardest decisions. Barb did. She didn't overthrow Vault-Tec. She didn't expose the Enclave. She didn't fight the future. She chose it. And that's why Cooper's story hurts so much more than a normal Fallout tragedy. Because this time, the enemy isn't a monster. It's a choice that worked. The reunion won't be violent. It'll be quiet. When Cooper finally reaches Colorado, I don't think there will be gunfire. I think there will be recognition. Janie will look at him and see a relic. A man out of time. A symbol of everything she was trained not to be. And Cooper will realize that Barb succeeded. Janie survived. The world kept going. And everything Cooper tried to protect was left behind. That's the most Fallout ending imaginable. No victory, no revenge. Just the unbearable understanding that being right doesn't mean being chosen. Fallout's cruelest truth. Fallout isn't about the apocalypse. It's about what people decide before it. And Cooper Howard's story isn't a quest to save his family. It's a slow, painful walk toward the realization that they were saved. Just not with him. And that's worse than death. Because death ends the story. This doesn't. That theory is incredibly bleak, but you're right, it fits the Fallout DNA perfectly. The idea that Cooper wasn't just left behind by a system, but specifically excluded by his own family for his own good, is heartbreaking.